Sorry, folks, give me about 30 seconds here and we'll start up. Make a quick note here. One more minute, I'm sorry. Well, none of that. Will my computer choose on this? All right. You guys ready? All right. Good evening. Welcome to the February 2026 Seminole County Board of Adjustment meeting. Before I go into the chairman's opening statement, I want to make a notice to the folks in the audience that agenda item number 5, that is 9483 Shortleaf Court, the applicant has withdrawn their application, so that won't be heard tonight. So if you are here to speak for or against that, you're welcome to stay if you want to, but we won't be hearing that tonight. So having said that, for those of you who haven't been to one of our meetings before, please allow me to share with you our normal procedures. As we move through the agenda, staff will introduce each item for consideration. If there's a matter that you want to speak in favor of or against and you're not the applicant, there's a form out in the lobby we'd like you all to fill out, please, and hand it to the nice lady to the right of the lectern. The applicant and the applicant's supporters will be heard first, and then those in opposition will be heard next. If the circumstances call for it, the applicant will be given a chance for rebuttal. And we request that comments be limited to just what's before the board tonight. We don't get into personal disputes. We do not get into homeowners association disagreements. That's not the purpose of this board. If you're an individual and you're not the applicant, you'll have 3 minutes to speak. If you represent a group, you'll have 6 minutes. And when you come up to the lectern to speak, we ask that you identify yourself by name and address for the record. We ask every speaker to be given courteous attention and be treated with respect. We just kind of follow that, treat others as you'd like to be treated. Don't be surprised. We may ask questions of staff. We may ask questions of you or the applicant. That's just part of the process as we work through it, so don't be surprised. Any information that you share, photos, maps, things like that, do become part of the record, and we need to hold on to them. If what you share is digital, that's okay. We just ask you if you could later in the night or the next day email it to staff so we keep the entire record complete. Once we've heard from everybody, I'll ask for a motion from the board, and once a motion has been made and seconded, we'll close discussion to the floor. Following board discussion, a vote will be taken, and during voting, board members who do not cast objecting votes will be considered to have voted in favor of the matter. If at the end of this meeting you are not happy and you disagree with one of our decisions, you can appeal our decisions to the Board of County Commissioners, and staff can help you with that process, but after the meeting. And with that, number 1, please.
Good evening, Angie Gates, The first item on the agenda is a request for a north side yard setback variance from 10 feet to 1 foot for a carport in the M1 Industrial District located at 500 Plumosa Avenue. The proposed carport will be 1,200 square feet and will encroach 9 feet into the required north side yard setback. The applicant held a community meeting on December 9th, 2025, as required for all non-residential variances. There have not been any prior variances for the subject property, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there, actually, Robbie, Mr. McHugh, I forgot to mention this to you. I'm going to have a question to you in a second, so heads up. But before that, gentlemen, do you have any questions for staff? Mr. McHugh from the County Attorney's Office, I'd like your clarification, and I know you know this inside and out, so no pressure. No, but just in their application, in their responses to our 6 variance criteria questionnaire, the applicant had made mention numerous times about precedent and the actions of their neighbor as precedent. And I just wonder if you could opine briefly, just for the record, about how precedent does or doesn't affect the actions of this board.
Yeah, certainly. So the actions of this board have no precedential value whatsoever. Each consideration is as unique as the individual lot or the property itself, which is in real property, each lot, even if they're seemingly identical in a subdivision, there still comes with them differences. No lot is identical. So whatever decision this board makes has no precedential value whatsoever.
And is that also true that if a neighbor had done something, whether it was approved by this board or not, that's not a precedent, not binding on us in any way?
Correct.
Thank you, sir. Is the applicant here? Anything you'd like to add, sir?
You have all of our pictures and
No, I'm sorry, we have to have the microphone, I'm sorry. There are folks at home watching, and we have to have everyone on microphone. Yes, sir, right there at the podium. If you'd just share with us, please, your name and address.
Pardon me?
If you'd please share with us your name and address.
Rod Cubier, personal address is 320 Bahia Circle. Business address is 500 Plumosa. I just want to make sure you guys had the pictures, and our plot pretty much describes it all.
Sounds good. Gentlemen, do you have questions for the applicant? All right. Thank you, sir. That was easy.
Simple enough.
Absolutely. Is there anyone in the audience to speak in support of this matter? Seeing none, anyone in the audience to speak in opposition to this matter? Seeing none. Gentlemen, your preference?
Mr. Chair, motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from Mr. Wright. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'm going to see a rhythm here real quick for this evening. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, enjoy, sir.
Thank you.
And ma'am. Number 2, please.
Item number 2 is a request for an east side yard setback variance from 10 feet to 8.5 feet for enclosing a carport in the R2 1 and 2 family dwelling district in the Slavic Village subdivision located at 2605 Holly Road. The existing carport will be converted into approximately 247 square feet of living space and encroaches 1.5 feet into the required east side yard setback. The applicant applied for the appropriate building permit, permit number 2513331, and at that time it was determined that a setback variance would be required. There have not been any prior variances for the subject property, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Gentlemen, do you have any questions for staff? Seeing none, is the applicant here? Sir, is there anything you'd like to add to what staff had shared? We love meeting our neighbors. Come on down. Just, when you get on up there, please just let us know your name and address.
Ishmael Palmer, 3248 Stratton Circle.
Yes, sir.
So the carport's been there since in the 70s, 1972. When it's enclosed, we're not going to take on any of the additional land. So everything will stay in the existing footprint that it currently has and had since 72.
It's just the land development code has changed since that was built. Yeah. Gentlemen, questions for the applicant? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone here to speak in support of this matter? Seeing none, anyone here to speak in opposition? Seeing none. Gentlemen.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve from Mr. Levant. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Wright seconded. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Enjoy.
Item number 3 is a request for a height variance from 5 feet to 7 feet for fence columns in the A1 Agricultural District located at 500 Sweetwater Club Boulevard. The existing columns within the 50-foot front yard setback vary in height, with the tallest columns being constructed at 7 feet in height. The property owners received a notice of code violation, case number 25-31, for the installation change of columns without required permits. The previous columns complied with the previous land development code's height requirement. However, the new columns exceed the newly adopted land development code's height requirement by 2 feet. The president of the Sweetwater Club Homeowners Association submitted a letter of support and stated the property owners were not bound to the Sweetwater Club covenants and restrictions, and 3 letters of support were received by surrounding neighbors. There have not been any prior variances for the subject property, and this concludes my presentation.
Very good, thank you, ma'am. Gentlemen, questions for staff? Seeing none is, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Levant, did you have one?
No.
Okay. Is the applicant here? Anything you'd like to add, sir?
No.
Okay. Do you all have questions for the applicant? All right. Anyone in the audience to speak in support of the matter? Seeing none, anyone in the audience to speak in opposition? Everyone's going to go home quick on a cold night. All right. Seeing none, gentlemen, your pleasure.
Move to approve.
Mr. Levant's moved to approve. Mr. Wright?
Second.
We
I
have
a
a-
question, but that'd be,
For discussion?
Yep.
All right, for discussion purposes, we have a second. Your question, sir.
I just want to make sure that the code violation we're looking at says actions be taken care of by the 25th, which, 2 days from now? Oh, no, this was a year ago. Sorry, apologize, I was looking at the wrong date. Our action here will make that go away if we approve?
Yes, they still have to go through the proper permitting for it, but yes, this is the first step to resolve that.
Okay, thank you.
And we work closely with the code enforcement officers when we see that they're doing, action to resolve it. We work closely to let them know.
Thank you.
Very good. All right, does that resolve your question?
Yes, sir, thank you.
We have a motion to approve. We have a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, sir. Enjoy fence. Number 4, please.
Item number 4 is a request for a rear yard setback variance from 5 feet to 2 feet for a pole screen enclosure in the PD Plan Development District in the Deer Run Unit subdivision, Unit 5 subdivision located at 528 Pine Song Drive. The applicant is proposing to replace an existing pole screen enclosure that encroaches 3 feet into the required rear yard setback. Prior to the current property owner purchasing the property, a portion of the 7.5-foot utility easement was vacated. However, a setback variance was never applied for. The Deer Run Homeowners Association has approved the applicant's request to replace the existing full screen enclosure. A letter of support was received by the adjacent neighbor, and there have not been any prior variances for the subject property. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Questions for staff? Seeing none, is the applicant here? Anything y'all would like to add to the record? All right, y'all have any questions for the applicant? Anyone in the audience to speak in support of this matter? Seeing none, anyone in the audience to speak in opposition to this matter? Seeing none. Gentlemen,
Motion to approve?
motion approved for Mr. Wright. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Levant, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, enjoy. As we had said earlier, number 5 has been withdrawn by the applicant. So now on to number 6, please.
Kathy Hamill, Development Services. Item number 6 is located at 3425 Greaves Court. This is a request for a rear yard setback variance from 30 feet to 9.7 feet for a shed that's located in the Gleaves subdivision. The applicant received a code violation for unpermitted construction, and the shed, unpermitted construction of a shed. This was added onto an existing detached garage. The total square footage of the garage and the shed is approximately 1,510 square feet, in which the shed addition comprises of 665 square feet. The applicant states that the shed is only for storage purposes. The existing home is 1,334 square feet. There have been no prior variances for the subject property, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Gentlemen, questions for staff? Seeing none, is the applicant here?
Yes, sir.
Do you all have anything you'd like to add to what staff had shared?
Yes, sir.
Please come on up. Just, please give us your name and address, sir, when you get up there.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Aaron Harris. My address is 30 North Wildflower, number 621 in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida.
Are you the representative for the applicant?
I am the consultant for the applicant,
Gotcha.
and the applicant is here also, Mr. Rama Prakash, if you want to address him. He hired me, the client hired me to bring this structure that he acquired when he purchased this property. I'd just like to add a few comments. I'll be brief. Number one, he acquired the property in June of '25. He did not build this structure where it presently sits. His intention the whole time, however, has been to bring the structure into compliance, meaning do whatever is necessary to make it comply with code, leave it where it is, and then utilize it as an extension of the garage. I think on one of the original applications, we may have used the word shed, but in fact, it's just simply going to be an extension of the garage that's already there, that's permitted as we understand it. As we perceived the ordinance there, the 30-foot setback was certainly the garage structure that is permitted extends into that 30-foot setback. And so again, all we wanted to do is to leave what's there, but bring it up to compliant, make it code compliant. We don't want to move it, and we certainly do not want to utilize it as an ADU of any type. In other words, we would propose to put power there to light it, and that's it. No occupancy of that structure. And that sort of is it. And I overheard some conversation, so I'll just close here and say that I'm here to answer any questions that we can.
Very good. Gentlemen, questions for the applicant? Did you prepare their responses to the variance criteria?
It's my understanding that we did prepare responses.
What-
Yes, sir.
No, just, I have a question, and I don't mean,
okay.
I don't mean to bully up or beat up
No,
on
it's
anybody.
okay.
I don't know if you had done it or if your client had, and to whom to direct my question.
We sort of did it together,
Well, it's
I
just,
guess.
in response to the first criterion, the applicant states that it's an irregular shaped lot, and as I'm looking at the image behind you or in front of you also, and again, I'm sorry, I don't mean to beat up on you, but what's irregular about it?
I can't answer that because it's a rectangular lot, so it's not irregular. I think maybe the person filling out may have meant that it's an irregular shaped building, but it is not an irregular shaped lot.
And then there's mentions of their issues of topography. I'm just curious.
I'm not aware, I mean, there is some obvious, drop across the building, but it's not something that would change the design of the building in any way, shape, or form. So I can't speak to that, I'm sorry.
Last question, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to beat you.
No, it's okay.
Don't mean to beat you up here,
okay.
but have y'all chatted with the neighbors to get their thoughts?
I have not. I'll ask the client
Please.
if he has.
And sir, if you'd please share with us your name and address, just for the record.
Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. My name is Tilak Rama Prakash, and I'm the owner. I purchased this in June, and I inherited this this issue. But no, the only people I've met are the people across the street. I'm friendly with them. The people next door to, if I'm looking at the street to the left, we seem to get along well, but nobody has said anything to me about it.
Gotcha.
Just-
Unfair follow-up question then, and I realize that. If this was there when you bought it, and you say it, and I don't doubt you, any idea how long it's been there?
No. From the paperwork that I've got actually from the county, I think at least a year, because there were pictures taken and it says 2024 on there. So that I have, but that was provided actually by you all. I got it in the mail. So at least since 2024, because that's the year that's on there.
I'm sorry you inherited that, but thank you, sir. That answers my question.
Okay, thank you.
Do you all have any other questions for the applicant? All right, thank you, sir. Unless there's more you'd like to share.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone in the audience to speak in support of this matter? Seeing none, anyone in the audience to speak in opposition? Seeing none. Gentlemen,
Move to approve.
Second.
motion approved for Mr. Levant, seconded by Mr. Wright. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that was easy, eventually. Yes, y'all stay warm now. Number 7, please.
Number 7 is 125 Nashua Avenue. This is a request for a front yard setback from 50 feet, I apologize, from 20 feet to 0 feet for a fence in the RM1 zoning classification. The RM1 zoning classification is unique to us. This is a classification for our mobile home parks, and it is located in the Mobile Manor Second Section subdivision. The applicant constructed a 6-foot-high privacy fence on the front property line. The fence is 10 feet from the sidewalk and 14 feet from the edge of asphalt. The applicant did receive a code violation, 25-55522, for construction without the permit. There have not been any prior variances for the subject property, and this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Gentlemen, questions for staff? Seeing none, is the applicant here? Yes, sir. Anything you'd like to add? I mean, you guys have questions for the applicant? Okay, we're good. If you don't want to. No, you don't have to speak if you don't want to. It's okay. But if you want to, you can. Whatever your preference. Sure, come on down. Just your name and address, please.
Yes, I'm Tan Pham, and I'm 125 Nashua Avenue. Yes,
Yes, sir.
it's just the fence, the chain fence was there when I was bought it, and I was the 6 foot high that I need to be moved into my property, and I did move into my property side. Yes, I did.
Okay, thank you, sir. Any questions, gentlemen? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We're good. Anyone in the audience to speak in support of this matter? Is there anyone in the audience to speak in opposition? Seeing none. Gentlemen? Or do you want to talk about it first?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from Mr. Wright. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Levant. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Very good, sir. It's approved.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. Number 8.
Good evening. For the record, Jaylen Moreno, Planning and Development. Item number 8 is a variance request for 3439 Holiday Avenue. The subject property is located in the Holiday Bear Lake 2 subdivision. The request is for a rear yard setback variance from 30 feet to 5 feet for a shed in the R1 AA Single Family District. The proposed structure to be constructed will be 600 square feet. There have not been any prior variances for the subject property. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Gentlemen, questions for staff? All right, seeing none, is the applicant here? Anything you'd like to add, sir? You have questions for staff, for the applicant? All right. Anyone in the audience to speak in support of this matter? Seeing none. Anyone in the audience to speak in opposition? Seeing none, your pleasure.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve, Mr. Levant, seconded by Mr. Wright. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, you're approved, sir. And number 9. Yeah, I think you have to read it into the record, then we'll have a discussion.
Good evening.
Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Item number 9 is a variance request for 1200 Enderberry Court. The subject property is located in the Chula Vista Section 2 subdivision. The request is for a side street setback variance from 50 feet to 30 feet for a barn in the A1 Agricultural District. The subject property is in a corner lot and such is considered to have 2 front yard setback purposes. for setback purposes. The front of the house faces Enderbury Court. The Snow Queen Drive side is where the variance is being sought. The proposed structure to be constructed is going to be 2,600 square feet. The applicant applied for the appropriate building permit, 2518034, and at that time, it was determined that a setback variance will be required. A letter of support has been received from the adjacent neighbor. There was a prior variance approved on August 26, 2002 for a lot size from 43,000 square feet to 41,000 square feet. I would also like to add that after the staff report was completed, the applicant changed the use of the structure. And we also received an opposition stating that the applicant having like a detached garage. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, are you Mr. Marino?
Yes, I am.
Come on up. I think we have to have a, not a big deal, but we have to have a bit of a conversation.
Sure.
Nothing necessarily wrong, but what staff has shared with us is you've decided, and it's your right, to change the use from a residential use to more like just a barn use. What that means then is what went out as the public notice to the community is incorrect. And I could see some people might say, well, that's not a big deal, but we want to protect you from someone, who knows who, trying to be a busybody and say, hey, the process wasn't followed correctly, and gum up the works of what you're trying to do. And if it's the pleasure of the board, would you be okay with us just continuing this to next month to just renotice it and make sure there's no procedural hiccups to you getting, a full fair hearing on the matter?
Honestly, I do have an issue with that. And here's the issue. I never changed the intent for the building ever. When the original permit was pulled, it was pulled on a barn permit application. It's been a barn from the beginning, never changed. The original application that we turned in came back to us that we needed to get a variance for the size and the height of the building because whoever went through the process as it was going through the permit, they thought it was going to be something other than a barn. And under the rules with other than a barn, you'd have to have different variances than what I had to apply for. When we designed the building, we actually designed it in its exact size to fit exactly where it fits, so I'm not impeding on my chicken coop. I'm not impeding on a 100-year-old oak tree I have on the backside of my property. As far as the setbacks, I even designed the building with the barn builder so that it was the exact distance for the setback. We didn't realize setbacks are not from edge of pavement. Setbacks are from your property line. I don't know if you have the survey you could possibly pull up.
Mr. Marino, I apologize, and I'm being rude and
Yeah.
interrupting you, but here's my concern. Even if it's not your responsibility, not something that
Right.
you did, the public notice that went out was discussing one use that's different from what we're discussing today. So regardless of whose fault it is, there is a factually incorrect public notice. And
Right,
I do, you have your rights too, but I just.
Yeah, I know. I'm just frustrated because we did complete the paperwork on time. We paid everything, we did everything on time. We did find this issue before the time limit was met to turn in this application. I went down to the county and I spoke with Ms. Moreno. You look familiar, so are you her? Okay. We spoke, we discussed what needed to be done so that when the mailings went out, the correct description went out. So it's not my fault as the homeowner that the description went out wrong. I noticed this morning that my letter of variance that I had to fill out the 6 questions, the wrong one was posted. But the correct one was delivered to her in time. I even have an email back saying that, yes, she received it and it would be taken care of. And in person, when I was there, I was told it would be swapped out.
And those are all, yes, sir, those are all fair
So on my
points.
end, as
Sure.
a homeowner, pushing me back a whole nother month means I have concrete that's now going to get pushed out a whole nother month, the building gets pushed out for another month, and we've already been through a process where the items we were required to have this variance for in the beginning, back in November, when our permit was applied for, the wrong things were written at that point because the intent of the building was, however, conveyed wrong. Never received a phone call or an email, even though I sent several emails and phone calls saying, please call me, please respond, nothing. No response other than my driving up here 3 different occasions to say, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Can somebody please respond to me? There's problems here, and I'm seeing a problem, but it shouldn't be a problem because you're telling us to do something that we're not required to do. So here we are with a variance. Now, I mean, I don't know if the rules are variances for setbacks from the street, or are they from the property line? Because if it's from edge of pavement, I'm in compliance. I'm at 50 feet.
Property
Exactly.
line.
I know, and that's, we're not at that point of
Right.
discussion. What
I
I'm-
understand. I'm just saying, so on my end,
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this since November. And now I'm going to have to get pushed another month because of an administrative error, is basically what I'm being told. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know if I'd call it an administrative error or not, but there is an error. And I can tell you that if, you know, even if it's unlikely, if someone came in and brought a challenge, you'd be pushed back a lot further.
Well-
And so my suggestion, your opinion, you're
Yeah,
entitled to your
I know.
opinion, is this is the safer approach.
Okay, so currently we have 2 letters of support. Not one, there's 2.
Okay.
There's only 2 properties that
And I
will
just,
face.
and I was given these
Okay.
at the
The
meeting.
2 letters of support are from the only 2 homes that will actually see the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people will drive past it, but homeowners who actually reside in their residence, there's only 2 people who are going to see the barn.
But more than
and
just your
both-
neighbors could object.
I understand.
Yeah.
Both of those homeowners are fine with it. Were there any letters of against? Or are those the only 2 we received at this point?
The
We
only
have 2
thing-
letters of
we
support,
have-
or are there any letters?
We have a letter in opposition
We do, okay. And what is it for, if I may ask?
that they oppose it.
Okay, good.
I mean, you're happy to read it.
Yeah, it's, you
Yeah,
you
if
have
you
a
don't
right-
mind, I mean, I'm just asking a question, trying to figure out how to assess, how do I want to go forward?
Well, and the board can do what it wants. We're hoping
Right,
it would
I
be
get
easier
it.
for us if you agreed.
I'm just, I understand.
You're frustrated, I
the
understand that.
frustration. I
Understand
now
that
have to wait
entirely.
yet another month for something that I really should be just, it's a 20-foot setback difference, and to be honest, that extra 20 feet, there is grass in that extra 20 feet, so I am literally 50 feet from pavement. I'm 107 feet from the corner, so it doesn't affect traffic, it doesn't affect safety in any way, shape, or form, and if the variance is strictly just due to the fact that we're talking about this 20 feet, there's no safety issue, there's nothing else, it's not about the size of the building, where, you know, or anything like that. I don't want to move a tree to push it back, so I have to apply for this variance. I mean, I hope you guys can appreciate I don't want to move a tree. I think a lot of us can agree with that.
And those are fair points.
Can I,
Sure.
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Wright, please.
Mr. Maria, can I have, there's, in our packet, there's the letters of support. Basically, it looks like the same letter was written, letter of neighbor consent and support, variance request, accessory structure size, has a lot of the text in there, 5 bullet points of why it should be approved, and then pretty much they've added their signature. Was that
Correct.
letter prepared by you?
It was, yes, it was prepared by us and our contractor. We went over
So
and
my
talked with
question
both
to you-
neighbors
again,
and
I
asked them
apologize for
if they're
overspeaking. My question to
okay
you
with
is
that.
that everything in this letter that I've seen references an accessory building structure. The word barn never
Correct.
shows up in here.
Well, that's, on the permit, it was a steel building.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but what I'm asking you is that there's everything I've seen in the documentation that you prepared that
Okay.
with this letter was
I hear what you're
accessory
saying.
building structure. If it had said barn, honestly,
I understand what you're saying now.
okay,
Yeah.
so the
One
problem
word
with us
killing
is
me.
that I have letters basically saying here from approvals
Okay.
that you're asking about that aren't saying barn.
Okay.
And the same reason that we have a letter here that says it's opposition, we're basically looking at it that if we approve something or make a decision one way
Yeah.
or another,
Yeah, I get it.
and
I
the
understand
notification that's sent out was in error regardless,
Yeah. Yeah, I get
okay? We have they can come back and
Okay, so if we do a continuance, at this point, I should go back to those neighbors, have that changed so that they can see.
basically to make it
Yeah.
all
That's good advice. I
black and white,
appreciate
I would recommend that, yes.
Yeah,
That's
no,
my
I
opinion.
appreciate that. I have no problem
And
with that.
staff will make sure that on their end, everything is the
Yeah.
way it should be. So no doubt it's an inconvenience to you
I know, it's
But
just frustrating.
to make
But, you
it, to
know,
make it
but
right.
honestly,
Yeah.
it's easier than for us to be concerned and deny it.
Yeah, no, I
And
totally understand.
that would be my push forward, is to
Yeah.
deny it and makes you'll have to go back anyways, but.
Yeah, I understand that.
And
And
I'm not
honestly,
saying that for any
Yeah,
other reason.
and in all honesty to you guys, it is going to have storage. I have 2 classic cars that are going to go in there. I have a tractor that's going to go in there. I have 2 trailers that we use that are going to go inside rather than have them littering the
So
yard and
what
everything
is the
outside.
agricultural use of putting cars in there?
One whole side, well, the whole barn itself is
If I
not going to
might,
be
guys,
just
I don't
for.
know if that's something to get into.
Yeah.
Well, honestly,
Okay.
though, for me, it is,
I'm
though,
going to be honest with you.
because-
I'm going to be
Whoa,
upfront.
hang on a second.
One at a
Let me
time.
speak, let me speak.
Yeah.
The reason that for us to look at this in the manner that you're asking,
Yes.
only allows the barn as an agricultural for livestock,
Mm-hmm.
or, I forget the other term, but, and that is,
Equipment
the only
storage
exception
and
is in
other
the
things too.
A1 district.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it's a garage, it doesn't count.
Right.
That
No, I
doesn't
understand
apply.
that. Yeah.
So I want you to be careful with your words, that
Yeah.
if this is a barn, it's supposed to be for agricultural livestock
Yeah.
purposes, so.
I understand that, yeah, I would say more than half of it will actually have livestock in it. The rest of it is going to be support with the 2 trailers going inside. We've got to have an area for a tack room, we've got to have an area for feed, we've got to have, I mean, if there's extra space for me to put a
Understood.
car in there, of course I'm going to put it in there, but I'm not going to leave it outside when a hurricane comes.
I just want you to be
So,
clear.
yeah,
that the
I totally
reason-
understand.
The reason that we can look at this as it's being presented as a barn.
Yeah,
when it's
totally
correct,
understand.
In the A1 district gives us different leeways than the other district.
Correct.
Or is just a standard accessory building that's being used for
Right.
another use, that's all.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally understand.
Good, all right.
Okay.
Appreciate your time, sir.
Yep.
I'm going to put this to the board.
Any other questions for me before?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
If it's the board's pleasure, the chair would entertain a motion to continue this to next month's meeting.
I motion to continue to the next meeting.
We have a second? Second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so, again, I apologize for the inconvenience, sir, but we'll get it right next month.
Okay, thank you.
With that, the only other item is the minutes. Is there a motion?
So made.
Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Staff, anything else you all need at the last minute?
No, sir, we had no appeals from our last board meeting, which is pretty
Look at us
surprising.
dispense wisdom. All right, thank you very much.
Because I
We're adjourned.
wasn't here, right?
Yes.
We could have been one.